If you've been watching PolyMarket and wondering how people are actually making consistent money on here, this video is going to clear everything up. Because most people treat PolyMarket like gambling. They guess, they chase hype, they overbet, and then they wonder why they lose. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use AI to trade PolyMarket in a way that's structured, repeatable, and scalable. Not guessing, not gambling, just probabilities and process. And I'll walk you through a real example step by step so you can see exactly how this works from start to finish. First, let's quickly talk about what PolyMarket actually is, because this is where most people get confused. PolyMarket is not a sportsbook. It's not about odds. It's not about predicting the future perfectly. PolyMarket is a prediction market where you're buying and selling probabilities. Every market is a yes or no question, and each outcome has a price between $0 and $1. That price represents the market's belief about how likely something is to happen. So if something is trading at 69 cents, the market is saying there's roughly a 69% chance that it happens. The key thing to understand is this: you are not betting on what you think will happen. You are trading whether the current probability is mispriced. Once that clicks, PolyMarket stops feeling random. Let me show you what I mean with a real example. One of my favorite types of markets on PolyMarket are high-volume cultural or event markets because they attract a lot of money and a lot of opinion, which is where mispricing happens. A perfect example of this is awards markets like the Oscars. When you look at the Best Picture market for the 2026 Oscars, you'll notice something important right away. There's a clear frontrunner sitting around the high 60s, and then a bunch of smaller options far behind it. At first glance, most people would either blindly buy the frontrunner or completely ignore the market. Both are mistakes. Because the question isn't, what movie do I like the most? The question is this probability accurate given how these awards actually work? Now here's the process I follow. Instead of forcing a trade, I scroll PolyMarket looking for markets with three things: high volume, because that means the market is efficient and liquid; clear narratives, because that's where people overreact; and probabilities that feel confident but not certain. This Oscars market checks all three boxes. There's millions of dollars in volume, constant movement, and strong opinions baked into the price. That makes it perfect for analysis. Once I find a market like this, I don't immediately trade it. This is where AI comes in. Instead of relying on my own bias, I run the market through PolySight. PolySight is an AI tool designed specifically to analyze PolyMarket questions. It doesn't just look at the price, it looks at historical patterns, structure, incentives, and how similar events have resolved in the past. Getting started takes literally $1, and I'll leave the link in the description so you can follow the same process. I create the account, paste in the market question, and then I let the AI analyze it. And this is the most important part. I don't rush it. I let it cook. Because the goal isn't speed, the goal is clarity. When the AI comes back with its analysis, I'm not looking for a guarantee. I'm looking for reasoning. In this case, the AI flags a different outcome than what most people expect. Not because it's contrarian for no reason, but because when you actually break down how Best Picture voting works, how consensus forms, and how ranked choice ballots behave, the market's confidence starts to look shaky. This is exactly what most human traders miss. They see popularity. The AI sees structure. Once I have that analysis, then and only then do I go back to PolyMarket. Now I'm not guessing. I'm comparing the AI's confidence to the market's confidence. If the AI thinks an outcome is undervalued relative to its true probability, that's an edge. An edge is everything. I place the trade calmly, with a size that makes sense, knowing exactly why I'm entering and what would make me exit. No emotions, no hype, just probability. Now let's talk about risk management, because this is where most people blow up. Even with AI, you never go all in on one trade. I size positions small relative to my bankroll. That way, even if I'm wrong, it doesn't matter. One trade should never be able to hurt you. The goal is not to win every trade. The goal is to win over a large sample size. That's how this scales. As you start getting more confident, you don't increase risk randomly. You increase it systematically. You add more trades, not bigger bets. You spread exposure across different markets. You let probabilities work in your favor over time. That's how a strategy like this turns into something that can realistically average a few $100s a day without stress. Not overnight, not magically, but consistently. The biggest mistake I see beginners make is trying to turn one trade into a life-changing moment. That mindset destroys good strategies. This isn't about hitting a jackpot. It's about building a repeatable system. PolyMarket rewards discipline, patience, and structure. AI just helps remove emotion from the equation. So if you're watching this and you've been confused about how people are actually making money on PolyMarket, this is the blueprint. Understand what PolyMarket really is. Find high-quality markets with volume. Use AI to analyze probability, not vibes. Enter trades with intention. Manage risk, scale slowly. That's it. No gambling, no guessing, just probabilities and process. If you want more breakdowns like this, where I walk through real markets step by step and show exactly how I think about trades, make sure you're subscribed. And if you want to try this exact setup yourself, the link to PolySight is in the description. I'll see you in the next one.